his name is...
It's John Bunday. It is Friday, March 14th, and game number 17 is finished. It is GTA 4's Lost, or The Lost and the Damned. The Lost and Damned DLC on the PC. So I have GTA 4, the Complete Edition, or I bought GTA 4 and at some point got upgraded to the Complete Edition. And I wasn't sure if I would count the two DLCs episodes together or not, but this was a pretty solid length game, so I was happy to just count that as 17, because it's 22 story missions plus extra side content. Okay, I didn't do that, but the 22 missions did take a bit of time to get through. And yeah, it was pretty cool actually, because you play as Johnny, who you see a couple of times in Nico's story. So you see missions from the other side, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, so you're vice president of a motorcycle club. And if you've ever watched Sons of Anarchy and thought, oh, I would like to play a game based on that, this is pretty much that. So yeah, it's but yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. And I thought it'd be a pain in the ass being on a bike all the time, but I think they've given you a bike which is probably more better suited for you than say the stock bikes. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, if you've played the main game and haven't given The Lost and Damned a try, you should. It's actually really enjoyed it. It was nice to get back to the world and yeah, play through it. So I guess onto the Ballad of Gay Tony then. Not immediately. I mean, I did start an RPG, so I should probably get back to that. It is Thursday the 20th of March and game number 18 is beaten. And it is Slave Zero on the PC. So this is a game I actually first heard about, I think, for the Dreamcast, even though I never owned a Dreamcast, but hearing it mentioned as like a game that's worth playing, I thought, oh, okay, take a look, and yeah, it was on Steam, so I bought it on Steam. And this is a game that I did enjoy most of my time playing it, but it's a game I can't recommend because if you buy the game, it will not run on modern Windows. You have to use fan patches to get it going. And then, Jesus, the amount of times this game crashed on me. Luckily, it has quick save, so you can save anywhere. But if you save during the final boss, then you'll probably find it'll crash when you load your saves because of all the stuff it's trying to bring in. Okay, it's a third-person shooter. You play as a mech called Slave Zero, and for the when I started playing it, I actually was having a great time, and I just really dug like the graphics and the atmosphere and the vibe and the music, and like when you see like the character models, like the NPCs, I mean, it's like reminds me of like playing like Deus Ex or Quake or you know things like that. So there's like because this is from 1999, I miss that era of like of like the graphical style. It's great. And it's a corridor shooter, so there's not very much exploration at all unless you might want to find an upgrade. It's just constant, just shooting, shooting, shooting. Lots of drops of health and ammo, but you need to save because you might get overwhelmed or get knocked down in a bottomless pit. Yay. But yeah, it's a game that I've been wanting to play for a little while. I'm glad I have done it. But like I say, I cannot recommend it for the average gamer because you probably don't want to have to go deal with all this bullshit, really, do you? Just to even get the game to start and then like potentially have crashes while playing. But yeah, so Slave Zero, oh Jesus, yeah. It is Thursday the 10th of April and game number 19 is finished, and it is GTA 4's The Ballad of Gay Tony on the PC. So apologies, the camera's still not be changed. I'm hoping my boss might change it at some point. Who knows? So This is the second DLC they did for GTA 4. Also, they bundled the two together as episodes from Liberty City. This one, you are actually a business partner of Gay Tony. So Wes is bad Gay Tony. You aren't Gay Tony. You play the business partner who pretty much tries to stop everything from falling apart. So, because it turns out, your boss has, or business partner, sorry, has borrowed money from several people who he shouldn't have, and you're trying to deal with that. So you're not actually necessarily a criminal or want to be a criminal, you want to be legitimate, but you keep getting pulled into the underworld as a result. I actually really did enjoy this one. You also add things in like base jumping, like parachuting for like helicopters and things like that as part of missions, which was pretty cool. Yeah, it's longer than the Lost and the Damned, but it also what this one does, it adds in like mission scores. Is like each probably mission has like criteria or rate you against that you can then try and get 100% on. I didn't really bother with that. I just wanted to play through the main story missions, so I wasn't too concerned about my rating at the end. But there are achievements tied to it, but you may have to have. Yeah, I think it might take a lot of effort to try and get through all those. So if you have this or the GTA 4 complete collection, because I bought GTA 4 and then eventually got upgraded to this at some point in the past, it's definitely worth playing. Like I played through the base game, Lost the Damned, and the Ballad of Gay Tony, and I enjoyed all of them. And there are several missions where you actually like all three stories are in places interwoven, so you will see the same cutscenes from different perspectives. And it's like, oh, like there's one which features in all three games, and then you get an achievement once you beat that one. But yeah, so and it's nice. Like I've been playing GTA 4, like the different bits of GTA 4, for over 4 months now, on and off. I had to take breaks for different things, and it's felt like very epic. And like my total Steam playtime is 56 hours. Not all of that was like pure play. I mean, like might be paused for a little bit, but close enough to 56 hours. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if this was in the base game when it was released, but they have added in the ability to, if you die or fail a mission, to like it will load you back in. Like you can pick to like load in. You get a text message saying, do you want to carry on, and it will take you from a like if there's been like a cutscene or something, or you meet a certain trigger, then you will start back at that. Things to note is that if you die, you will still lose the money that you had to pay for the hospital. If you were caught, you lose all your weapons. So I would not recommend reloading that. But also, if you had armor, I mean, so let's say if you die, if you had armor, you do not get that armor back. So that could potentially be a deal breaker for some if it's a very difficult mission. But at least in the Ballad of Gay Tony, it wasn't that bad for that. But yeah, so definitely recommend the Ballad of Gay Tony, and I can't believe my GTA 4 journey is now over. I mean, I'm not going to go for the platinum, well, the 100% achievements. There's a lot of them. Some of them are a bit difficult. Yeah, but cool. I guess on to the next game. It is Thursday, 24th of April, but last week on Tuesday, the 15th of April, I beat game number 20, which is World of Illusion on the Mega Drive Mini. So we went on a caravan holiday for the second week of Easter holidays, and I took my two Mega Drive Minis with me. So I wasn't sure what we would have in the way of entertainment in the caravan. So, and because my oldest son's godmother came with us as well, because she lives in Scotland, and because we were on the south coast, we kind of like met in the middle. And so there was no Wi-Fi, signal was awful, and there was no smart TV. There was TV with a DVD player in there, but you know. But she also grew up playing games and has a Switch, so we played. She remembers playing World of Illusion. She doesn't remember ever beating it, but she played it on a friend's copy at their house or something. But yeah, we completed it. I do actually, I do own the game. I bought it from CEX 5 years ago, and I just tested to make sure it worked, but I've never played through it. So it's quite cool to actually do. Yeah, so you play as Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and so you've been pulled into the world of illusion, and you have to work through a bunch of levels to escape. Apparently, this game actually has, like, depending if you're playing single player as Donald or Mickey, or co-op, will give you different levels. So there's actually more modes to it, I guess. So there's like 3 different ways to play. So we did co-op, so I should probably go back to it and try playing single player as Mickey and then as Donald as well at some point. Yeah, it's a fun game. If you have like, from a co-op point of view, definitely worth checking out. If you have kids, maybe try with them. I think they might enjoy it. So yeah. And then on Thursday, the 17th of April, played and completed Golden Axe on the Mega Drive Mini again. So I'm not sure if it's just the light, but it looks like I've got a black eye. Anyway, so Mega Drive Mini. So the I've never actually beaten this game before. I'd never had it growing up. So for me, this was the first time. Like, I've tried it for like challenges and giving it a try, but never actually got through it. But hey, yeah, but it's Golden Axe. There's not really much more I can say about it. So, but it's nice to finally see the credits on it. God, this game gets so cheap by the end. Like, seriously, cheap, 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 cheap. So the Mega Drive port has 2 extra levels versus the arcade original. So yeah, you can get to what I assume is the end of the arcade game where you get the king and queen. Isn't too bad. It's when you actually try then do the 2 extra levels, that's when it gets so much cheaper. But yeah, but I'm glad to finally have it done. So it is Friday, April 25th, and game 22 is finished, and it is Al Shaddai on the PC. So it's a game that was picked as part of the monthly Club 52 game book club that we do. So there should have been, by the time you see this, we should have had the live stream to talk about the game, where we'll probably gone more in depth than what I'm going to discuss here. It's a game that you play as Enoch, an angel sent down to go and stop and imprison, or bind, I guess, 7 fallen angels who are running amok and cause some unnatural evolution. The game is very artistic and has some beautiful color and artwork, graphics kind of as you play through it. The gameplay does let it down though. So there's some interesting boss battles in it, but you just kind of have the same enemies that you face throughout the game, and it's just rinse rinse repeat, and it's kind of gets a bit shallow, but also at times there's the 3D platforming can also be an absolute pain in the ass at times because you have no control of the camera, and so it can be difficult to judge if you're actually landing where you want to land. And when I was playing this last night near the end, and I was on chapter 10 of 11, and I got through a very tough encounter, and I had like the last bit of health left, and then I had to do the 3D platforming section, and I fell down and lost my last bit of health, and got a game over. I very loudly shouted, fuck you," while banging the table because I was so pissed off with the game. Yay. So at times it can be a hard game. I play on normal, so I'm not sure what it's like on easy. I don't know if I can recommend it. I mean, it's like I say, it's very biblical, but I think the kid's going through. That's all for now. It is Tuesday, 29th of April, and game number 23 is finished, and it is Revenge of the Ninja on the Mega CD. The camera is really starting to there we go, is on its final legs, I think, so we'll try and make this quick. Okay, imagine Road Avenger, where there's an animation playing, and then you either do up, down, left, or right, or press a button with enough time in a short window of time to. And if you do it correctly, then you move along. If you don't, you get like a death scene or something. So it's that, but it's about a ninja rescuing a princess. And to be honest, I had a lot of fun actually with it. I wasn't intending to beat the game. I was just doing it for my Mega CD conversion series. Because this was never released on the Mega CD in PAL. It was only like, I think, Japan and America. But I was doing a video showing about the conversion, and next thing I know, I've beaten the game. I did set it to easy, maximum lives, but don't get me wrong, I was like fully on concentrating, and I did get through one continue and several lives, so it's not like easy. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The animation was a bit grainy, but that's because of the compression. But still, it looked like it was when it was first made. It was probably very good quality art animation, like hand drawing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely worth a try. When that video eventually gets released, there'll be a link in the description to download if you want, or just go to my archive.org page, or go to any of my Mega CD videos, and then when you go follow the link, you can just go into the overall count to find all my other downloads. But anyway, yeah, I didn't intend to beat that. Revenge of the Ninja for the Mega CD. It is Friday, 16th of May, and game number 26 is finished, and it is Panzer Dragoon Auto on the Xbox. So games 24 and 25 were RPGs, so that's why they're not here. They've got their own separate videos, which should have already gone live by the time this goes up. And this I actually played via my 360 using a Intel hard drive, using a hard drive, because you have to buy them, and it's not the Intel hard drive, you have to buy an external hard drive that fits internally. Using the 360's Xbox compatibility program. Sorry, I think I've had some kind of like cold or something, so my voice might be a bit more different than usual. Yeah, so I've been told or read that if you had the PAL copy, which this is, then if you use the 360 compatibility, it would crash after level 3. But it didn't on mine. But I do have like one of the last models they made of the 360. So maybe they improved the performance, because you can see a cutscene where it starts to chug a bit. So maybe that crashes on older models of the 360. So if you have one of the latest ones like I do, then you might be able to play as that issue if you've been holding off. Otherwise, if you play on the latest series of consoles, there will be a problem. Yeah. So this is the 4th game in the Panzer Dragoon series. Technically the last, because the next one is a remake of the first game. There's also a remake of the first game in this. I haven't unlocked that, but it's there. So this game takes place after the 3rd game. Shocking. Because the first 2 games were on-rail shooters like this. The 3rd game was an RPG. Fantastic. Definitely should be played. Play it any way you can. Emulate it. I don't care. Play it. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Play it. I played it back in 2023 as part of the 52 challenge, and it is shocking that not all people have played that game. Anyway, so yeah, this takes place after it, and it's a 10 mission structure game, kind of like arcadey kind of feel. I would definitely recommend though that you use the training mode first before going to the game proper, to understand like the different type, because there's 3 different types of style dragons. Well, it was one dragon, but it can morph into 3 different styles, to understand what they can do. So definitely do that first. I started the game in normal, and I got to level 4, and then the game is kind that if you get to the boss, it will let you restart at the boss. But by level 4, you then lose the ability to, like when it restarts at the boss, you have a minuscule amount of health. And I was just like, I want to have fun. So I knocked it down to easy. At which point then it gives you back full health. Great. Because
I was debating what to do, and I read a comment, an old comment on Game FAQs about somebody who was struggling, and they said, "Don't be a hero, play the game on easy." Yes, I want to have fun. I am not going to spend like hours upon hours trying to beat the game on normal difficulty if I'm struggling with it. But if you want to do, by all means. I will offer you another piece of advice is on the file boss. There are three phases to it. The first phase, piss easy. The second phase, there's a bit where it does like this purple homing attack, and like yeah, that just ruins your health. Absolutely ruins your health. And then the reading online and checking like a video of how to beat the boss, and everyone's like, that's the bit that just screwed them over. And I will tell you now, so you know, is that you need to be the normal wing, which is like the default dragon, not the heavy, not the glide. And you need to hold down the A button to lock on to everything and then let go after like it does a sound. Because if you do it with the heavy wing, you won't have enough lock-ons. And if you do it with the glide, it won't lock onto them. It has to be the normal wing. And even like watching the video, read the comments, it wasn't until I think I read like an IGN like guide that he said about being the normal wing, I think, rather than the heavy wing. Because watching the video, they were the heavy. But yes, so then the third form, or third part of the boss, is he does a lot of those lock-ons. That's so you definitely need to have mastered that before the third form, otherwise you will get obliterated. Because the first couple of times I got to that third form, I was like on like tiny bit of health, so I just got decimated. So yes, but yeah, definitely worth. It's definitely worth playing. If you enjoy the Panzer Dragoon games, definitely play this because I don't think it's probably been played as much compared to the older ones, which is a shame because it's a good carry on. So I mean, this copy could probably be in better condition. I picked it up this year, last year, but I think it might be starting to rise in price. So if you think you might want to go for it, and I would highly recommend playing this game, then go for it. Until next time, take care.